teach you how to do architecture visualizations using Photoshop post-production. So today we're going to be talking about something that's super important, which is how do you blend all of these pictures you're going to insert into your Photoshop. So I'm going to be giving you magical blending techniques. So if you're interested, please continue. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is colors. Colors, again, are very important for the success of your visualization. So we've been told a lot about the color wheel and that each color has a certain representation, and that's massively true. But also these representations, they differ according to the shade of the color and what other colors come along with it. So why are colors important for your visualization? So the thing that you should know is that the colors that you put into your visualization, they give a feeling about the function or convey to the audience a function about your building before they even know what it is. So for example, here in this building, I've changed its hue saturation 4 times. In the first one here on the top right, the colors use a primary color, so you could feel its function is for children or nursery, anything education for children. And you can feel that for each color change, that its function, the function of the building changed. For the second one over here, I made the green color as dominant color and I desaturated all the others. So even if the building is not green, you do feel like green here has a representation, especially if it's inserted this way in an architecture presentation board. The same thing for the second one, I made blue as a dominant color, and you can certainly feel like it's a rehabilitation center or something that calms down the feelings. And you know, the same thing is going to happen if I changed the dominant color into red. You can feel like it's a civic center, or that red also here has a representation. And the last one, you could also feel like it's a rehabilitation center, and you could definitely feel like this building is very changed from the top one. This is very bright and playful for children, but here you can feel like the play is more into waves and calming and so on. So colors really do convey different feelings about your building. So how do you get to choose your color scheme? This is very important. So I'm going to tell you a way that makes this easier. If you are putting your building in a warm and sunny site, okay, and you want this same setting to appear in your visualization, literally type into Google desert color scheme. If you want it to be more tropical, you can type ocean color scheme. If you want it to be gloomy, you can type snowy color scheme. It's much easier to get inspired from the nature because the nature's colors are perfectly matching and very variant. We always try to get inspired from nature in our building designs. The same goes to visualizations, especially for the fact that we want it to appear realistic or believable as much as we can. So how do you change the hue saturation of the building? So you have here from the adjustments over here, or from the image adjustments over here, you can also use this one. But this one is not changeable really if you cannot go back, and from here you add a layer on top of any of the other layers, and I love to add this layer at the beginning. So when I insert or when I change the hue saturation over here, whatever layer, even if I'm adding a person, it's going to take the same hue saturation I'm putting it for the building. So that's why I love to add a layer at the beginning. You can also just use Ctrl-Alt-G so that the only one layer takes this effect, but I always use it on top of all the layers to make them more blended. So I'm going to show you now how. I've added a hue saturation layer over here, and then here you have master. Master means it's going to change the hue saturation of all the colors you're having. But this is really makes it confusing, so I'm going to, it's better to go step by step into each color solely, reds alone. So for the reds, for example, over here, I'm going to change it to greens. You just have to take the cursor like that and keep moving it until you reach green. And then I'm going to lower the saturation. I lower the saturation a lot because it makes it more comfortable to the eye and makes the colors less clear that I'm changing them. And then for the other colors, I'm going to desaturate them. So in that way, you can see we totally changed the colors. So let's try another one. Let's delete this layer and just try another one. So for example, we're going to go reds. Okay, if you do not know the brown is a shade of the red, you have here a hand, a finger, so that you can color pick the color, and it's going to tell you, let's put this faster, okay. You color pick it and it's going to tell you that this is reds. So this is for you if you do not know that browns are shades of red. So anyways, so I'm going to change the this one into a more reddish actually color and then desaturate it. And then I'm going to the yellows and I'm going to change it into oranges. And then I'm going to desaturate it, and then I'm going to the greens and I'm going to change them also to more olive color, and I'm going to desaturate it. And then I'm going to the cyans and I'm going to make them more greenish. And the same with the blues. Finally, I'm going to go to the master and then desaturate all of the colors so that they appear normal. So that's how I change the hue saturation. And now if I'm going to insert any other picture, for example, let's insert a person. I'm inserting a person right now, so just for an example, I'm going to put them under the layer of hue saturation, and voila, they take the same hue saturation of the scene. And so the second thing we're going to be talking about is edges. Why are edges very important for the blend of these pictures? Because when the edges of the pictures you're inserting come on top of each other, trust me, they appear as if they are sticking. They obviously appear photoshopped. So you either have to fade away these edges by the eraser or to put elements on top of it, like shrubs, by using a clone stamp tool or a brush. We're going to use both ways in this video. We're going to start by drawing with a brush. And I'm going to talk again about colors before we use a brush, because this trick of using a brush is going to make it so much easier for you, hopefully. So, again, I'm going to be talking about colors. So, I was actually an artist, or I tried to draw or learn to draw by myself. So I draw portraits, and most people, when they see a lighter skin tone, they believe that you can use only a pink color to draw this skin tone, which is not true. I use more variety of colors or shades, like an undertone of blue, for example. These colors are unexpected for some people. For example, darker skin tone, I might use a color as green. If I want to draw a tree and make it appear realistic, I don't only use green for the leaves and brown for the bark. I use green, blue, yellow, orange, white, and also black. All these variety of shades is what makes it appear realistic. But in Photoshop, it's much easier, and I'm going to show you now how to do it. So, here for this example, as you can see, I've added the grass field and picture, and I've added also a picture for the water, and you can clearly see how they are sticking on each other. Whoever's gonna see this picture will know that you are photoshopping it. So I'm going to start by adding the brushes with a brush. So I'm going to insert the brush and insert a new layer. I chose this brush of shrubs, for example. So why I'm telling you that on Photoshop it's much easier, because you can simply click Alt, okay, to color pick from the grass field you're having over here in the picture. So when you are color picking, always color pick from the dark, okay, and then color pick from the light. These variations are what's gonna make your shrubs realistic. It might be taking somehow time from you, but trust me, it's not gonna take the tons of time that 3ds Max is going to render, and at the end you might not find it the same results. So this is how you're doing it, and be noticed or take into consideration something very important is that you have to enlarge the shrubs as it gets closer from the picture, and whatever is getting away from the picture, you have to make the size of the shrub even smaller so that you make the perspective understandable to the eye, or I mean logical to the eye. So you can change the opacity also of the shrub if you want, but over here I'm putting it 100% because as much as I can, I want to fade these edges. So anyways, it's gonna take somehow time, but this is the way that I'm telling you it. And trust me, it's not gonna take time as much as 3ds Max, so okay, this is gonna be good. And so this is somehow, and you can now see how the edges over here are clearly much better, as you can see over here. So I do this for all of the edges over here, and also here surrounding the building, so that I can blend all of these edges with the brush. So the second way is with the fading away the edges with an eraser. So I'm going to insert here a street, and I'm getting here a picture with the same perspective of my street. I'm just gonna delete some parts of it. To make the perspective better, and now okay, and I'm going to use the normal brush, the standard brush, for example. Okay, you can use whatever brush you want. I'm going to use this one, the standard brush. I love to make it a little somehow bigger this way, and I always put the opacity little because I don't want it to erase for me 100% of my picture. I wanted to make it seem blended, the edges to be blended. So anyways, I'm going to put a very low opacity. Alright, and then I'm going to blend the edges, make it fade away in this way, as you can see. Right, you can make it by yourself as you want. Take the time doing it perfectly, but for me, I'm just going to show you now just a bit how I fade the edges. Alright, and then I'm going to lower the opacity more. Right now I faded the edges. It does not seem as much as the sticking as the first when I first inserted it. I can also show you. I'm going to add a sign right now, so I'm just gonna do that. I wanted to turn into white. I'm going to talk right now after this about the lace styles, so they are magic really. So we're going to talk about them a lot. Anyways, I'm going to do perspective with this. I may show you this in details for the perspective lesson, for the layer styles and so on. We're going to be talking about each of them in details later, but for now I'm going to just show you how to blend. Alright, so I'm just going to lower the opacity, and then again I'm going to use the eraser to fade away the edges from further away, because farther objects are more blurry. Whenever you are seeing something that is far, it's blurry and small. Whatever is near is big and clear. So anyways, and then I'm gonna fade just apart from it, because it's just not natural that it is very clean and new. It is always like parts of it are faded, parts of it are not. And this is how you blend using the eraser. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, please hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and follow me on Instagram so that you know when I'm going to release a new video. Tell me if you want me to talk about anything else special. I'm taking your comments in consideration, and I really appreciate your support, you guys. It's going to keep me going. Thank you.